let us learn about heat today. Okay, so heat is actually a form of energy, and the sun is the ultimate source of heat. Now this heat can also be generated through burning, right, combustion and other exothermic chemical reactions, okay, as well as friction and so on. Now look at this picture here. How do we determine how hot or cold an object is? All right, now you can see in the image to the left there is a person who is dipping his right forefinger in a beaker full of hot water, and his left forefinger is dipped in iced water. Now after that he left his fingers dipped in the hot water and the cold water for suppose 2 minutes, and after that in the right image you can see that person has dipped or immersed both his fingers in a beaker containing normal tap water, which is at the normal room temperature. Now what do you think his fingers will tell him? Okay, so the finger on the right, or the finger of his right hand, it tells him that the tap water is cold, and the finger of his left hand tells him that the tap water is warm. Now why is this so? Okay, because the difference arises because of the temperature that the fingers were before they were dipped into this tap water, which is at normal room temperature. All right, so it is very difficult to determine how hot or cold an object is with this kind of activities. So there is a perfect way to measure temperature is the measure. All right, so you see here, with the help of temperature we can know how hot an object is. Okay, so temperature is the measure or the degree of hotness of an object. Now temperature is measured through a device which is called a thermometer. All right, now this thermometers, okay, thermo means heat and meter means something which measures heat, right? Thermometer. Now thermometers are of different types. Now thermometer which measures temperature, one type of thermometer is the clinical thermometer, right, which we usually use when we have fever. We try to measure the temperature of our body, right? So this is a thermometer which has a glass tube, right, a slender glass tube with a bulb at one end, and the bulb has mercury in it. All right, so mercury is a metal and it is liquid at room temperature. Now there is another small capillary in the middle of the glass tube, right, and when the mercury in the bulb, it gets heated, it expands, its volume increases. As a result, the mercury rises or flows into the capillary. All right, and this is how we measure our temperature. Now you can see there is one small kink just next to the bulb. Now this is the clinical thermometer. All right, I'll tell you the function of the kink. Now this clinical thermometer, it measures a temperature between 35 degrees to 40 degrees Celsius. This is because the temperature of a normal human being cannot fall below 35 degrees and it cannot rise below 42 degrees. Otherwise that person will be dead. All right, so the normal body temperature of a person actually is around 37 degrees for a healthy person, right? This is the average normal temperature for healthy people. And if you measure it in another scale, which is called a Fahrenheit scale, it is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. Now, when we measure the temperature, we should wash the bulb of the thermometer with antiseptic, or rather the whole of it, right, with some antiseptic solution. We should shake to drop the mercury level below 35 degrees. Okay, so this is very important. We should not hold the thermometer by the bulb. Now when we measure the temperature using this clinical thermometer which has mercury in it, we usually do it by putting the bulb of the thermometer below our tongue, right, and we keep it there for a minute, and after that if we remove the thermometer and we see the reading, all right, we look at the reading, we'll know what the temperature of the person is. All right, now one advantage of this thermometer is that the mercury level does not quickly fall after it is removed from the mouth of the person. The temperature outside the person will be different, but the mercury level does not fall, and so the reading can be taken for quite some time. Right, this is because this kink which is present next to the bulb, it is a bent portion which does not allow the mercury to return back to the bulb quickly. All right, so this is an advantage. So the kink prevents mercury level from falling on its own. All right, and the thermometer needs to be shaken before, or rather if you want to drop the mercury level, then you have to shake the thermometer. All right, now see, this is another type of thermometer, and this is called a laboratory thermometer. Now this laboratory thermometer, it measures liquids or other substances, and it has a range of -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Now in this thermometer, you can see it has a range of -20 degrees Celsius, and the highest or the maximum temperature that it can measure is 110 degrees Celsius. All right. And these type of thermometers, they use mercury, or they can also use or may use colored alcohol in the bulb. So when the mercury or the alcohol, expands because of, increase in temperature, we will know the temperature of that liquid or whatever object we are measuring. Now, when we measure any substance with the help of a laboratory thermometer, we have to keep it upright. You can see the image here on the right, and it should not touch the sides of the vessel or the bottom of the vessel, right? The bulb should remain in the liquid or in the substance that it is measuring. So we leave it like that for about a minute, and we will see the mercury or the alcohol rising, and we can take the reading, right? But once the thermometer is removed from the liquid or the substance that it measured, the temperature that it measured, we will find that, the reading, it falls or it lowers, right? Because the alcohol level or the mercury level drops immediately when it is removed from the liquid, right? So if it is a cold liquid, as soon as you remove the thermometer, the temperature will rise because it will measure the temperature of the air around it, right? And if it is a hot liquid, then as soon as you remove it, the temperature will drop. Okay, so this is a disadvantage. So you should take the reading quickly, or when it is in the liquid or the substance that it is measuring. When you remove it, it's temperature, you do not get the correct temperature. So you should read the temperature while it is dipped in the liquid or the substance it is measuring, the temperature it's measuring. Now this is another thermometer, and this is called a maximum and minimum thermometer. It is used to measure the maximum and minimum temperature of a place. Okay. This thermometer has a range of -40 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. Okay. One side of the thermometer measures the minimum temperature of a place, and the other side measures the maximum temperature. And this, it also has, a small tube which is filled with mercury, and there are bulbs on top which is filled with alcohol. Okay.